Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Sims 3 speed build. I had decided, I don't think I had ever created a one-bedroom fully furnished house, so that is what we decided to go ahead and do today. It's a small house, only one bedroom, one bath, and I believe there's even a laundry room, there's a kitchen, and a living room. I'm sure there's somewhere for your Sims to eat, but I can't remember if a dining room made it into this house or not. As you can see, it is rather small, so there's probably some kind of kitchen nook, I'm going to guess. It was, a few weeks ago when I built this house, so I can't quite remember exactly what it has. It comes out to be about 61,000 simoleons, and it was pretty quick to build, even with it being fully furnished, probably just because it's really not that big of a house. The roofing, of course, it's basic, simple. I mean, nothing extravagant about the roofing at all, and the siding was really easy, and I decided I wanted to go with this really deep blue color. Of course, in some of the lighting, whenever I do this color, I like this color. I've done it before, but in some lighting it always looks kind of green, but it is blue. As you can see in the front of the house, it is definitely blue. But just going through and doing some more of the siding. I always tend to end up going with, I've noticed, the same kind of wallpapers for the split level areas for like your garages and things like that. But as you can see, I did try going with something different than usual. I did try a few other different wallpapers, but I just wasn't very happy with it, so that's why we ended up going back with the wood planks again like we normally do. So I do like them. They do seem to turn out, I think, best. Just my opinion, I just think they look nice. So just figuring out some more of the colors. I mean, everything with this house just seemed to come very easily this time. As you can see, of course, still windows. Windows always seem to be a little bit harder, but I still did them pretty good. We went with just basically one style of window. I mean, like I said, this house is not overly fancy at all. It's definitely kind of a smaller, standard. I don't know what kind of house you would really call this. I just named it Bluebell because it was blue, and I really had no idea what to call it, so that's just kind of what ended up happening. So just a little bit, terrain painting, and I try getting the outside, as much done as I can from the start, because a lot of times if I start going into the interior and stuff, I do tend to forget about the exterior, so I do try to get the exterior done prior to doing anything else, but I can't always guarantee it, and sometimes I do forget to go back. And sometimes there's a few times where I do end up going back after I've done recording, and I have fixed a couple of minor issues here and there. Maybe a few things that I forgot, or maybe when I went in and tested the house or something didn't work quite right. But most of the time what you see here on my speed builds is exactly what you're going to get. Very seldom does anything have to be changed. I've actually played the game as the game itself for quite some time, and do know how most everything works, including all the other weird things that you might see that I might create. But for the most part, I do know how everything works, and not normally do I have to go back. So just trying to figure out the garage area here, for a place for the stairs, and they kept, it must have been that window. It was hitting something with the windows, either the shutters or the window itself. It was having a problem with. So, and I was trying to figure out what I want to do with this floor plan. I wasn't really sure what to do with it, but this is pretty much how it ends up being. There's a bathroom and a laundry room. They're not in the same area of the house. They're actually separated. And yes, now I remember, this has a kitchen nook. So over there on the left is going to be where your table and stuff is going to sit. So the kitchen was a decent size, so we were able to put a little table and chairs and stuff in there. I wasn't expecting a big table. I mean, I thought I'd try in case you had guests over. It wasn't really wanting to fit with 4 chairs, so we took one out. They should all work. I'm pretty sure they all work. There's nothing next to them or anything like that to cause any conflict, so you should be okay with any of them chairs. So occasionally though, I will put a table and chair in, and I will know certain chairs don't work, but I put it there because I like the way it looks and just figured, oh well, if you lose one or two chairs, to me it looked better. So there's always a chance that, of course, your dining room table and stuff may not work. I'm not going to always guarantee that every chair works, but in this case, they all should work for you. This house actually ended up being very colorful. As you can already see with the color plan already for the kitchen, it's got the bright yellows and oranges. I don't know why I chose to go this way. Bright colors just happened to be what I was thinking and decided to go with it. I have done bright colors like this before, but it's not very often that I will purposely color, a house in these really bright colors, like your bright yellows, bright oranges, reds. The whole house is like this. Now, it's not all going to be blue, all red and orange, but they're definitely going to be, colors that stand out. It's not going to be very many neutral colors or anything like that, so I think it turned out very nice. I was really happy with how it turned out, so I think, for being all these bright colors and stuff, I think they did go very well together. So, a few things on the fridge there. I believe our store content, I believe they come from the bakery, I think, because it's cookies and flour. I'm pretty sure it comes from the bakery. So, but if you don't have those items, they can always be, they'll be replaced with something else, or maybe nothing at all. Or you could put your own things up on top of the refrigerator. You just have to make sure you move the shelf out of the way. Not always after it's been merged into an object will other objects find it. So if you want to put something up on that refrigerator, you'll just have to move the fridge out, get a hold of that shelf, and I would just move the refrigerator out first. That would be easier because then the shelf would already be in the correct height that you need, and just change the objects around then, and then put the refrigerator back. So, but this room is just about done. Like I said, this did not take very long at all to furnish or decorate. It went very quickly. I pretty much knew exactly what I wanted. I think that's kind of what helped. Sometimes when I go into building, I have no idea what it is I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm building. I like to try to have a little bit, at least a small idea of style and feel for the house that I'm trying to do. It just makes it go a lot quicker and easier and fast for me. But sometimes I go in and I really have no idea what it is I'm doing. But in this case, I knew I wanted these nice bright colors and things like that. Like you might see this wall, it's not too bright, but as you can see, the accent colors of this room are going to be a really bright blue. Instead of a dark blue, we're going to have this really light, like oceany type of blue. It's just really bright and colorful. So definitely a cheery house. I really like this house. I was basing it off of that bathtub. That bathtub actually has a bright blue stone tile that goes around it. Now it's kind of trying to bring out that blue that's already in that tile. So that's kind of where we got the color scheme for this room. So like I said, definitely bright blues in this one. The walls and stuff are a little bit neutral, but I tried spicing it up a little bit with the bright blues. It is a bathroom. There's only, so much that you can do with a bathroom anyway. So just putting the TV in, making sure that it wasn't poking through the walls is all I was doing right there. Because normally I don't move the camera around much. I try not to. It's just even easier for me not to move the camera around. Just start putting things in one view. I don't know. It keeps my game running, I guess, smoother. I don't really know. I just prefer to, not move around too much. So, like I said, bright colors. Our living room have really bright walls, bright blue. Kind of went with a little bit more of a neutral color for the couch. I do change the flooring. When I first put it in, I thought it was blue. It looked blue, But as I was starting to put, you know, the walls up and more of the blue colors around, it started to look purple. It started to look purple. So it does get changed. It gets changed to a blue color. So that's kind of why we left the furniture to be a little more neutral, because we already had blue flooring and blue walls, and I just didn't, you know, that would have been a lot of blue if we had blue furniture too. So we just went ahead and let the furniture be a neutral color. So a nice piano for your Sims to play the piano and get a skill. The piano will work for you if you are new to my channel and you have never seen one of these pianos that I have created before. The piano does work. It looks like a small upright, and I really love using these because how often, unless you have a really big house, you don't normally have too much room for one of those big grand pianos. So this itty bitty little upright piano works great for those small spaces. And the piano will work, but you cannot get them bookshelves. So if you're new to my channel and you've never seen one of those pianos, make sure you remove the books, because your Sims will not be able to use the bookshelves. So just going around finishing up a few more items for the room. I'm not sure how many more things actually get put into this living room. It is kind of an odd shape. You know, it's kind of like this L shape. I ended up getting a door in there because I decided, well, we should have a door. You need to have a back, somewhere, a backyard, something back there anyway. And of course a rug, because you don't want to get your dirty feet all over your flooring, since this house happens to have carpet all the way through. And there's where you see the blue come in. Like I said, lots of color this time. So here's your laundry room. I decided to go with a bright green. Going back to that whole bright standout colors, we went with a bright green this time for washer and dryer and flooring. Exit out to the garage. So I had decided the really bright color was a little bit too much, so we just kind of darkened it up a little bit. And it looks like, again, neutral walls, because even though we're going with bright colors, there is a thing as too much, and I didn't want too much green. I wanted just enough green to give it a nice color theme and a little bit of interest. So, and just a few small things. I do tend to put sinks in with the washer and dryer because I look at them as a utility sink. You've been working out in your garage or outside. You don't want all that grease and dirt and everything being washed up in your kitchen sink or bathroom sink. So I think of those sinks as the where they can wash. Kind of like a I don't know, just a sink. Utility sink or something or another for it. So a place for all the dirty and yucky stuff. Now the bedroom ended up not being quite so bright. I don't know, I just didn't feel that the bedroom should be too bright and cheery. I mean, after all, you are trying to sleep there, and I would assume the darker, or not really darker, but the more soothing and calmer colors would probably be best. So that's kind of why we went with more of a earthy tone. So I'm just changing up the colors a little bit here and there, and getting some of the curtains. And like I said, it's very earthy color for the bedroom. So nice and relaxing, and not a whole lot of stuff. There are hidden baskets throughout the house, and basically what that means is, in case you haven't seen those before, they are laundry baskets that are placed into objects throughout the house to help collect the laundry for you, but you won't see them, but you can use them. The Sims can get to them. I just don't like having the laundry basket. I don't know, I don't always like it visible. Every now and then I'll put one in and it'll be visible, but for the most part I don't. They're usually hidden. Even the ones inside the sink, don't worry, they can be used. As you can see, we were definitely having lots of issues with this. The staircase there was just not wanting to go in, and we couldn't have it go in any other direction because it was the end of the lot. So just finishing this up real quick. The back deck was kind of a afterthought, so that's kind of why it didn't get done before. sometimes I don't always think of the back area, you know, right away. So, and then I had realized I don't think I had put railings on any of the stairs, so that's why we went ahead and put those in real quick. And just some bushes. I was looking for something small because it is the edge of the lot and I didn't want anything too big. If you put plants, or mostly it's plants and trees, I have noticed if they are too close to the property line, even though they come with the lot, and like if you delete it, they'll delete too. But if you wanted to change them, that's where the problem comes in. I have found that if they are sitting right at the edge, sometimes you cannot get a hold of them and you can't delete them, and then they're stuck there forever. So yeah, it's just best try not to get, you know, stuff too close to the edge, otherwise you may or may not be able to ever remove it. It'll be there forever. Don't worry, all those lights will disappear when you go into live mode. I just put a whole bunch of them in there, that way when your Sims are in there it does look like it's all one color instead of, you know, one area being darker, one area being lighter. That really bugs me. That's just one of the things that bugs me. I actually put a car in this house. Can you believe it? I actually put a car in this house. It's not too expensive a car. I think it was 3,000 or 4,000 simoleons. So it won't make that huge of a difference to the price of the house, but if it is just a little bit out of your price range, just get rid of the car and that will lower it for you. So we're coming up to the screenshots here. I took a few of them at night, that way you could see a little bit of the lighting. I don't always remember to take the night view pictures, that way you can see, but in this case I happen to remember. So anyway, like I said, here's the end of the video, and if you're new here, go ahead, if you like what you see, like the video, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.